Welcome to Barca News. It is August 27th, 2026. And today we're going to be talking about the Champions League draw because we officially know Barcelona's opponents for the group stage of this 2026-2027 Champions League season. Also, Julian Alvarez. It's over. Atletico Madrid have officially closed the door on Julian joining Barcelona. And finally, Mateo Moreto confirming that Barcelona will be signing a left-footed center back. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bo. Welcome to this quick, short live to bring you all Barcelona news. Today, I had an incredibly busy day. I wasn't able to film, edit, and post, film, edit, and post. This is why I'm doing this short live. It's not a podcast, so I won't be reading any of the comments, unfortunately. That's usually reserved for podcast days. Now, I know tomorrow is podcast day, tomorrow, Friday. However, tomorrow I am traveling. I'm going to see my family. But don't worry, as always, whenever I travel, I take my laptop with me. I take my camera with me, so I'm still going to be making news videos as I spend some time with my family. Anyways, two quick news of today. Barcelona defeated Atletico de Bilbao 2-0. Goal of Rafinha and goal for Fermin Lopez. I did the post-match live analysis. If you want to see it, it's on the channel. And also, Barcelona have officially confirmed the signing of Dominik Livakovic, the Croatian goalkeeper that we've talked about. We still don't know whether Livakovic will leave on loan and then come back next summer to be Joan Garcia's second goalkeeper, or whether he's going to stay and be the second goalkeeper this season to Joan Garcia, relegating Wojciech Szczesny to the third place. We'll have to wait and see, but it is officially confirmed Livakovic becomes Barcelona's sixth signing. Now, let's talk about the really exciting stuff, because today, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have found out their Champions League opponents for the 2026-2027 Champions League season, or at least I should say the opponents in the group stage. And well, this is what Barcelona have drawn. We have, of course, the home match is going to be Manchester City, Aston Villa, Feyenoord, and Como. The away matches, PSG, huge one, Sporting CP, Galatasaray, and Sabah. Sabah apparently is an Azerbaijani team. I had to look it up. I did not know where that team was from, but apparently they're from Azerbaijan. But a pretty interesting list of opponents here. First of all, we have Manchester City coming to Barcelona or to the Camp Nou. That's going to be exciting, of course, because not only it should be a good match, right, between Barca and one of the Premier League's big clubs, but also because this will be Rodri's first match against his former team, and it's going to be played at the Camp Nou. So exciting match there. We have Aston Villa. Might not be perhaps a top team, but playing Premier League teams is always very exciting. So I predict another exciting match there. Feyenoord, not really too excited about that. And then, of course, we have Como. And this one's going to be exciting because this will be the return of Cesc Fabregas to the Camp Nou, this time as a coach, leading, of course, Como. Now, in the away column, PSG. We have two things going on. First of all, this will be Barcelona will be facing Ferran Torres, right, for the first time as a PSG player. I truly hope that Barcelona spank PSG, just to remind Ferran Torres of his place. But also, this will be, I think, the biggest test for Barcelona and their readiness to win this Champions League trophy, right? This is going to be probably the biggest test this season. We'll see how Barcelona will fare, especially since it is an away match. But I got to say, that's going to be a big one, the biggest one, the most important match out of these 8. Very, very excited to see that. Sporting CP. Should be a good match, but not too difficult, I think. Galatasaray, and then, of course, Sabah, which, again, a team from Azerbaijan. So I'm very, very looking forward to PSG, Man City, Aston Villa, and Como. Let me know which matches you're looking forward to. And just overall, man, I'm just looking forward to the Champions League starting in the month of September. But let me know out of these matches which ones you really want to see. down below in the comment section. Now, speaking of the Champions League draw, after the draw, Atlético de Madrid, or Patético Madrid's CEO Miguel Ángel Gilmarín once again had to speak out about his obsession with Barcelona and, of course, the whole ordeal with Julian Alvarez. And this is what Miguel Ángel Gilmarín had to say. Julian is genuinely struggling. Well, yeah, you guys are keeping him prisoner, but okay. There have been people who have taken it upon themselves to deceive him and confuse him. How? Again, his dream is to play at Barca. How is that? Anyways, I regret it enormously because we've been working with him for a long time. He's a great person, a great professional, and a great footballer. But he's completely confused. He's currently going through a very difficult situation, both personally and professionally. What? How is Julian confused? I'm very confused. So this guy admits that Julian is going through very tough stuff, that he's obviously sad and depressed. And instead of assuming responsibility that the reason why Julian is sad and depressed is because you won't let him leave, he wants to blame it on Barca. Not sure how. This is like when you tell the girl that you have a crush on her and you say, hey, you know what? I like you. I want to date you. And she says, no, I don't like you. I like someone else. And you're like, no. You do like me. You're just confused. She's going to look at you like, what? No, I'm telling you, I don't like you. I like someone else. No. You're just confused. That's what pretty much this delusional excuse of a man is doing. Now, let's continue with the statements because Miguel Ángel Gilmarín then ups it up a notch. We are disgusted by their falsehood, by the lack of ethics, by the lack of transparency, by the lack of professionalism. We can do nothing other than insist that we will not negotiate with FC Barcelona under any circumstances. So not only does this Delulu man try to blame Barcelona for the fact that Julian is sad and depressed, even though it's their fault for not letting them leave, but then he says that Barcelona are lacking professionalism for making an offer for a player. What? Bro, Real Madrid made an offer for Julian, and you released an official statement, and oh, what an amazing deal, what an amazing offer, what an amazing club. We're rejecting it, but oh, they are so amazing. So when Barcelona makes an offer, it's unprofessional, but when Madrid makes an offer, it's amazing. Plus, you're talking about Arsenal as well. Like, I don't understand the math here. The math ain't mathing. If any club in the world makes an offer for Julian, that's just part of business, right? But if it's Barcelona, it's lack of professionalism. What is going on? Is Atletico Madrid purposely recruiting from the Cuckoo Hospital people to run their club? Are they going to the dementia ward at their local hospital and be like, hey, you want to be the CEO? Let's go. But anyways, we continue because you might have seen the thumbnail, you might have seen the title, that it's officially over. The doors have closed on Julian joining Barca. It's not because of what Gilmarín has said. He's been saying that for quite some time. He even made an official interview, gave an official interview where he said that Julian is not being sold to Barcelona. We've heard from Cerezo, who's the president of Atlético Madrid, also saying the same thing. And of course, we've heard from El Cholo Simeone saying, hey, they don't want to sell him. So I'm just going to be here to support him. So we've heard that time and time again from all these three individuals that Julian is not going to Barca. So why all of a sudden now, Mo, I'm putting on a thumbnail that it's officially over? Well, now for the first time since this whole saga began, the board of directors, the owners of Atlético Madrid have sent an official statement. And this is what the statement reads. The members of Atlético Madrid's board of directors have unanimously expressed their full support for the club's decision not to negotiate the transfer of Julian Alvarez to FC Barcelona. Now, this board does include Apollo, which is the biggest stake holder in the club. So this is not just the president, the CEO, or their coach saying Julian is not going to Barca. This is officially the owners of the club saying Julian is not going to Barca. We continue. Atletico Madrid is open to the usual negotiations that take place in the transfer market, but always in an ethical and professional manner and with respect between clubs. I I wish they would have included a manual on how to negotiate with them, because Barcelona did what any club would do. They sent an official offer in writing, and that was it. How does that violate ethics and professionalism? I don't know, but maybe they should release a manual on how you should negotiate or make offers for their players. But we continue. We fully support the position previously communicated by the club that FC Barcelona have not met these requirements. And as a result, there have been no negotiations, nor will there be any with them regarding the transfer of Julian. And we continue. Some people can deceive many people for a long time, but it is impossible to deceive everyone all the time. I mean, I agree. You deceived Julian, letting him think that you had a successful project with potential. I mean, you're a second-tier club, and you've always been a second-tier club. So you're right. You can't always keep deceiving people. But anyways, we'll continue. Atletico Madrid are convinced that their player will understand the decision and focus on working in the best possible way to help the club achieve its objectives, as he has already done during the 2 seasons in which he has defended the club's colors. So there you have it, folks. It's official. I don't think there's much explanation here to do. This is no longer Gilmarin, who is the president, who's the CEO. It's no longer Cerezo, who's the president. This is no longer Simeone, who's the coach. These are the actual members of the board of directors, which include Apollo, the biggest stakeholder in the club. So in other words, the owners of the club saying Julian will not be going to Barcelona. So I think we can say that, well, it's over, right? It's over. It doesn't look like Julian will be joining Barcelona at least this summer. Now, in the meantime, today, Julian missed training for the 2nd day in a row. Yesterday, we talked about during podcast how Julian had missed training, and that the club's official version was that he was feeling ill, right? And of course, I posed the question. I'm like, do you think this is Julian rebelling and saying, I'm not showing up until you let me leave? Or was he truly ill? Well, today, Julian Alvarez missed the 2nd day of training. Atletico Madrid's official stance is still is that Julian is sick, and that their doctors are communicating with him to help him, get reincorporated into the training session. So again, I pose the question to you. Do you think this is still Julian rebelling, saying, I'm not showing up? Or do you think this is Julian rebelling? Now, some sources in Argentina are starting to say that Julian could be considering perhaps going to Arsenal. He, of course, only wants to go to Barca, but understands that. But now seeing that Atletico Madrid are not going to transfer him to Barca, he doesn't want to stay there either. So he's starting to think about maybe going to Arsenal, even though that's not where he wants to go. Kind of like escape that hell that called Atlético Madrid to go somewhere he doesn't want to go. This doesn't mean he will do so, but in Argentina, they're saying that Julian is starting to kind of think about it a little bit. Now, we're going to have to wait and see, of course, what happens, but there's only 3 days left in the market. And doesn't look like Julian will be coming to Barcelona. Now, on to the next bit of news, because today, Mateo Moreto, a reporter very knowledgeable of the transfer market in Spain, confirmed what I told you yesterday, which is that Barcelona have decided that they will sign a left-footed center back. Now, we still don't know who it is, and Mateo Moreto hinted that he did know, or actually said that he did know who it is, but didn't want to share the name on the air, that he was going to share it at a different moment. And instead, Mateo Moreto said that, yes, Barcelona will sign a left-footed center back. This center back will be someone that does not play in Spain and someone that's not really well known. So this, of course, rules out many of the names we've talked about. Of course, we did talk about Gonzalo Inacio, Sporting CP. We know that Hansi Flick is not a big fan of his of that profile, of his profile. We've talked about Luqueba. That's someone that Hansi Flick really likes, but Barcelona not willing to pay what Leipzig are asking for. So that is out of the question as well. So the question is, who's it going to be? Obviously, Laporte. We talked about how Barcelona also like Laporte, but Barcelona not going to negotiate with Athletic Club de Bilbao since the relationship is completely broken with them. So, of course, that begs the question, who is it going to be? All we know is he left-footed center back, doesn't play in Spain, and is not very well known. Now, if I had to guess, and this is not news, okay? This is not news. This is just Mo speculating. I want to make that very clear. If I had to guess, I would think maybe it's Ruud Nijstad. You guys remember Ruud Nijstad, 18 years old, left-footed center back, currently plays for FC Twente in the Netherlands. He's Dutch, 6'5", really tall. Someone at Barcelona had already made an offer for previously. So, I mean, that kind of checks the boxes, right? Left-footed center back, doesn't play in Spain. He plays in the Netherlands. Not many people know him. You know, he's not really like a big name in the world of football. I don't know. That's my guess. I'm curious to hear you guys' guess. Who do you think it will be that Barcelona will sign in the next few days? And with that, we move on to the last bit of news, which is, of course, something I touched on during yesterday's podcast or yesterday's video. I think it was yesterday's video. And I said that since Barcelona have decided to sign a left-footed center back, Alberto Cortez has decided to leave. Now, the 20-year-old center back joined Barcelona from Real Zaragoza in 2023. He spent 3 seasons with Barca Atlético. He debuted with Barcelona last season against Álvarez, showed us a lot of flashes of brilliance. He did really well this preseason too. Hansi Flick has praised him in public. Hansi Flick has even told Alberto Cortez in person that if he stays, you know, he will get opportunities with the first team. And even though Alberto Cortez did prioritize staying at Barcelona, seeing that Barcelona were ready to bring a left-footed center back, that meant less chances for him. And again, even though he wanted to stay at Barca, he's 20. He's in a very critical stage of his career where he needs to be playing. So he has decided to leave, and it looks like he will be joining Royal Antwerp, the Belgium team. So we'll see how much Royal Antwerp will pay for him, but it looks like Alberto Cortez will leave, which of course begs the question, if we are going to bring a left-footed center back that's not well known, I imagine it's going to be someone young with potential. Why couldn't have we just held on to Alberto Cortez? I don't understand. Maybe whoever Barcelona bring in is, I guess they consider has more potential than Alberto Cortez. I don't know. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to go to bed. I'm exhausted. I got to work tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'm flying out. So no podcasts after in the evening. I have a connection flight. So I'll try to do a video live from the airport if I have time in between my connections. We'll see. But yes. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscarsa.